Hi, everybody. Well, somebody out there is basically saying don't get sick on a cruise ship. Just don't do it. And they've shown a bill from a Norwegian Escape cruise where the passenger got sick, and they have an itemized list of the charges that they got. And it might surprise you, because it is stamped as medical care. It also says it's non-critical medical care. And if you think the bill was $500, maybe $1,000, you got another thing coming. So the passenger basically has said, don't get sick on a cruise ship. It was the Norwegian Escape, and they've shown an itemized list of exactly what they were being charged. Now, they don't say what they were ill with. Was it norovirus? Was it COVID? Was it something else? They don't say. However, the majority of the treatments seem to have been like IV injections, which is normally a sign of being dehydrated and like a very heavy norovirus or something that you need fluids into you to revitalize you, kind of thing. In fact, there were 8 separate charges for IV alone, charged about $108 each time that this was being done. And that's for the procedure of giving the IV. That's not for the medication going in. That's just for the procedure of the IV. Now, if you've ever had an IV in a hospital, you know they hook you up to an IV and they put the bag up there, and when the bag's empty, they take the bag, they unplug the bag, they put a new bag, and they hang it up. Apparently every time they did that, that was another $108 that happened. Also, they have different charges like new patient charge on the cruise ship that a lot of people have been questioning. Well, some people say, well, isn't everybody who comes on a cruise ship a new patient? What they mean by that is this is the first time you're visiting for whatever your illness is during that sailing. And so if you go in there, you get some treatment, you leave, and you come back 2 days later, they have records now of what was wrong, what's been happening, the tests they've given you in the past, etc. You're not a new patient the second time you go there. Remember, not all cruises are 3, 5, and 7 days. Some cruises are 21 days, some are 35 days, some are world cruises. And so that initial charge is to set up your account during that sailing. So I can see where that happens. That's kind of a standard new procedure, and it's a charge. But they also have admission consultation and doctor consultation. So you're being charged twice the minute you walk in for consultation. Does that mean the nurse who comes and talks to you, how are you feeling? What is wrong? Have you eaten anything? Okay, the doctor will be in to see you in a minute. And then the doctor comes in. Now and basically is the one who now comes up with any solutions. But those few questions that are being asked, is that the admission charge that they're charging you for as well? Both, by the way, the exact same amount, or was it a duplicate charge? It is just kind of odd. Now, out of a $10,000, that's right, this bill was $10,000. And you can see it was non-critical care. So if this is non-critical care on a cruise ship and ends up costing you $10,000, what in the heck would critical care cost you? Which is, what's that word I'm thinking of? What is that thing I always harp on to have? Is medical insurance, right? Medical, I don't care about cancellation insurance, if you miss your cruise, etc. That's money. It's a fixed amount. You've already spent it. It's already gone anyway. However, medical can continue on in the future and is on top of your cruise expenses that you're already spending. And here you see just non-critical care up to $10,000 for basically getting IV injections and a couple tests, like a COVID test and a blood test. 10,000 bucks. It's expensive and I'm not picking on Norwegian Cruise Line in this, because these kind of medical bills happen everywhere on cruise ships, which is why I harp on, travel insurance. Now, I may let people know that on my last cruise, I only had limited travel insurance because of the surgery I had just had. Now, I had insurance for this. Had I come down sick with norovirus or come down with a broken leg, I had medical insurance for those. The only thing I was not covered for on that cruise was if something happened related to my lungs and cancer. Everything else I was covered of. I couldn't get insurance for that until this trip coming up, because I had to wait a certain amount of time before the insurance companies would even insure me. But for everything else, I was covered. I had some people saying, all your advice on travel insurance is out the window now because you did this. And here's another thing. If you also happen to have enough money to cover the medical expenses, in case something happens, then you're covered as well, right? It's a thing. And as I mentioned to people before, I don't think most people are going on a cruise having 150 to 200 people waiting for you on that cruise. It was a different situation. And so I did take a little bit of a risk, but I had surgeon clearance, doctor clearance, tests right up until I left for the cruise. And so I was feeling pretty confident nothing was going to happen with the lungs. As you can see, nothing happened with the lungs. I'm perfectly fine. I'm even better. The doctor says I'm looking really good right now. And now I have tests running for my next trip. And if the doctor says to me on my next trip, you can't go, well then I'm not going. It's as simple as that. But I have insurance for everything else. And that's why you should as well. It's not a case, I had to bring that up because I had a couple comments saying, well, none of your advice is any good anymore. Okay, then don't take it and see what happens to you if you do get sick on a cruise. I have numerous people from my last cruise who are really happy I harped on getting travel insurance, because some people ended up getting sick, some people ended up missing the cruise, and all of them had travel insurance and had one less thing to worry about when they got sick. So there you go. Expenses can add up really, really quick. And even if you in there and you get your medical bills, double check those charges before you leave. And if something looks like it might be a duplicate charge, don't be afraid to question it.